Okay, guys. Oh my God, it's afternoon already. Oh my God. I've been up since, not really early, I've been up since like 7:45. And I'm like, oh, I gotta make that gingerbread dough, and I had to, finish those key rings and I'm like, I better hurry up and get up. And my back, it was still hurting me. Actually, the thing on my neck right here went away. It's not as bad, but I could feel like a lot of tension on my back from shoulder to shoulder. And I'm like, oh my God. And then on top of that, my grandson, the older one, got sick. He caught the flu, and I'm like, oh no. And I didn't have any medicine for him. The only medicine I had was ibuprofen, so I had to go later on and go pick him up some Dayquil, because he has to go to school tomorrow, and I don't want him to go into school tomorrow feeling all sick. If I get him NyQuil, he should be able to knock out, but I'm scared that it'll be hard for him to get up in the morning. That's the only problem. But yeah, and I didn't really want to go anywhere today because it is cold out there. It's like, I think it's like 7 degrees outside right now. I mean, the sun is out and it doesn't really feel that cold because I just finished taking Cersei's out, but you can feel the cold in the wind. And now it's like, no, it's chilly out here. It's chilly. I mean, if you go out, you have to really go out and be really bundled up. So otherwise, that air is gonna slap your thighs, and you're gonna feel it. Bam! You're gonna feel that cold as soon as you walk out. So layer up. If you're in Chicago, the best thing you can do is just layer up, and you'll be all good. Okay, so let's get to this. The key rings. I did make the key rings or whatever you want to put them on your purse, and this is how they came out. I think they came out cute. You could put them on your purse, you could put them on your backpack or wherever. And these are little shrinky dinks. That's what I made for the project on the list. Well, it's not really a list, really, because I just start, wanting to craft things, see what I can do. Because I just have so many material that I'm like, let me see what I can do with this. Let me see what I can do with that, And then I'm building and getting all this wood stuff from, the thrift store, Dollar Tree, sometimes Family Dollar. It all depends. I don't have a Dollar General, otherwise I would go. I'm going to have one, but it's too far for me. But I said, no, I keep picking up all this stuff, and I was like, well, I gotta start working with the stuff. I just don't want to keep collecting stuff and not do anything with them. You know what I mean? So I got into this, and I think I'm gonna be doing more of the shrinky dinks. I really like, oh my God, look what I made. These are so cute. I mean, but then again, we all say that about our projects. We're like, they're so cute. So, but this one looks like a boot. Christmas tree came out cute, but I'll talk more in depth of how I made the what do you call it, the key rings. So let's get into this. Oh, my neck stuff. Oh my God. So as you know, I got this from Aldi's, and happy Vlogmas day 14. So we are on 14 already. So let's look for 14. It's right here. When I see it on you, it looks like it's 41. But we're getting there, guys. We're getting there. All right. So let's see what we have here. I hate not being able to tear it out. I hate it when I can't tear it out right. And there we are, day 14. And we have, let's see, sugar cookie. Sugar cookie. I know it's hard to see because of the light. I don't have a lot of light in here. So sugar cookie. So let's throw this baby in, and like always, we are going to do a 12 cup. And I did get my marker. I think this is a lot more better than the pen, even though I did find the pen earlier. I was like, oh, there it is. So So sugar, look for the S's, sugar cookie. And so there we go. So we have, how many more days do we have left? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 more days before Christmas, guys. 10 more days. Now again, I told you guys I want to save this box because I want to be able to cut this out somehow. And I want to put staircases in here. When you open it up, you can see the staircase. I'm still working on that idea, but I definitely want to save this box for that reason. So again, we're doing the Barissimo coffee advent calendar from Aldi. This is the one I'm doing. I like the little house too. Jesus, I just want to cut everything out. Like, stop it. Stop it. I know, I can't help it. I watch all these, you know, craft shows and miniatures, and I just fall in love with everything. It's just, to me, it's just fascinating how they make something from something else so tiny, and it's just incredible. So sugar cookie, huh? Maybe if I add more sugar, maybe it'll actually smell like it or taste like it. I don't know. I don't smell anything on this one. Like, I really don't. But anyway, sugar cookie. Let's see. Let's see if we get a whiff of anything sugary. I mean, it does kind of smell like a cookie. Believe it or not. It does smell like a cookie. Kind of. But we're going to let it rest for a little bit because I can't, it's just too hot for me to zip on right now. But as we're waiting, as we are waiting for this to cool off a little bit, here is the sugar dough that I was making for the, what do you call it? For the gingerbread dough. So I am using, I don't know if you can see it, hold on, it's this, hold on. Hope that there's cards, I always have recipe cards. So it is this recipe right here. So I don't even know how to pronounce that. But it comes from this book, and I've had this book for ages. I know I haven't cleaned my stove. I'll clean it later. Anyway, I don't know, pepparkakor. I don't know how to pronounce it. Anyway, this is the recipe. This is the icing. So this is how they should look like, and of course the icing, which I know how to make the icing already. But that's the recipe I was going off of, and my only problem was that I couldn't, I didn't have enough molasses. That was my problem. And I was like, no, I need molasses. I thought I had enough, and I think I had like maybe a quarter. I think I had a half a cup of molasses. So I was like, okay, so how am I gonna stretch this molasses? So I Googled it, and to improvise, I had to use brown sugar and water, which I think gave it a little bit more color. But to improvise, but I said, you know, I'm just gonna have to stretch it with the brown sugar, and I was just gonna throw brown sugar in. But it did say to add water. So I did add water, and it did stretch it. So I was really happy about that. I'm going to put my keychains away. I'll put those away later. Anyway, this is how it came out. And I think it came out to a real nice color. So this is the color that it came out to. And it's not that sticky. It's really firm. Like, it's really firm. Which, in a way, it did call for 5 cups of flour, But I said, you know what? I'm only gonna do 4 because every time you add flour, the dough gets harder and harder, and that's when it starts cracking. So every time it says 3 cups of flour, 5 cups of flour, do 1 cup less because in the long run, believe me, you'll be able to stretch it out with the extra flour, but not as much to the point where it will crack. Because you remember, with any kind of cookies that you make or anything, especially cookies, you have to use a lot of flour on that table, and especially to pick them up. You need a lot of flour all the time. But this one came out nice and firm. Came out nice and firm. I did use cloves. It even smells nice too. So, and it has to chill for 3 hours. So I was going to make this today, but since it said it has to chill for 3 hours, I'm just going to do it tomorrow instead, because tomorrow I have to make the other cookie dough anyway, so it doesn't, I might as well do everything in one shot. So maybe tonight I'll mix the other cookie dough, which I already have the butter sitting out already. I had 2 already, what do you call sitting out, because I thought it was going to call for butter, but it didn't call for butter. It called for shortening. So instead of using 1 cup of butter, it said 1 cup of shortening. And then, of course, I always get the butter from, what do you call it, all these. I'm sure you've seen this box lots of times. The Country Creamery. And I always get the unsalted. So this is the butter I always get. Hey, I don't have, that much money to be buying the expensive stuff. So, hey, it is what it is. So, and again, it's just for the family. So I'll be making 2 batches of dough tonight because I have to make all the other cutouts. So I just leave that sitting out. Oh, okay, guys. So my data was full, so I had to delete some things out. So yeah. So anyway, this one's probably going to be maybe like 2 minutes or something like that. I hate it when it does that on the phone. It's like not enough, and storage is full, and then it just shuts off. It's like, but I was almost done. But anyway, it is what it is. I don't get it. Some people have so many freaking apps on their phone, like almost like 2-3 pages worth, and I don't see how they have so many apps. I only have a few, and I have an iPhone. And it's if I go over like, I don't know, like 20 applications on my phone, and well, my grandson likes to, put games on. He adds 1 more, 2 more. Oh, storage is full. I'm like, oh, come on. What about everybody else who has these Android phones that they have, pages and pages of apps? I'm like, how do they do that? How do they have so many apps that don't, do they go through the same thing? I get confused. I get confused so many times with this. Like, oh, it's just so aggravating. Anyway, now I have to, just sit here. Just sit here. Now I'm upset. Because then now I have to think about, okay, what was I talking about? Because usually when I talk, I'm on a roll. I don't use a script. I don't, I think about what I'm going to say and stuff like that. But the majority of the time, I already know what I'm going to say. Because I'm a talker. I like to talk, Okay, forget. Just, before I even get more mad, let's just taste this. What was this one? This was, what was it? Sugar cookie. So, let's see how this tastes. I can smell the sugar cookie. I don't know. It tastes good. It tastes sugary. It does have a hint of cookie, but then again, they all been almost like all tasting the same. Not really much of a difference. I think next year, I'm going to try to find a brand name, coffee calendar. I don't like to do toys or socks or anything dumb like that. I'm just no. I'm not gonna spend. You know, this one costed me. I think it was only like $10 or 14. I don't remember. But I know it wasn't that much. I think it was only like 10. No, maybe 14. It was around there because K-cups are expensive. So I think it was like $14.99. Anyway, I'm not going to be doing that and buying, you know, things, toys and things like that I know that you could probably buy at Dollar Tree for $1.25. You know, it doesn't make that much sense to me to buy something that you could get a lot more cheaper. I mean, if you think about it, 25 items, or 24 for $1.25. I mean, it all depends what you're getting. Yeah, that is $20 right there, right? Plus the 25 cents. It would just basically even out. But then again, it all depends how much they charge. Like they could charge like $35 to $40. You know what I mean? Because they got to make their profit too. So I'm always nitpicking. I do that all the time. I guess because I'm just so sick of seeing how Americans are being taken advantage of. I was born in 1961. I'm 64 years old now. And the things that I have seen change and, you know, all the watering down of stuff and all the downsizing, and it's just making matters. We're just making matters worse, not better. Like I was just watching a clip or a video about Breyer's ice cream. Now I like Breyer's ice cream, and my husband was always like, "Oh, don't get that cheap stuff. Get Breyer's because it's real ice cream." And yeah, maybe 20 years ago, maybe, but they're not no more because they're no longer considered ice cream. They're considered something dessert. I forgot what it was. It was a past something dessert now. And it doesn't even say ice cream. And I could have sworn I noticed that too, because I think it was I think it was last month I bought some Breyer's ice cream. And I was like, this ice cream doesn't look right. And then I realized when I saw that YouTube video, I was like, that's why. Because it doesn't have, you know, real ice cream. And I remember, because they showed some commercials where the kids were trying to pronounce the ingredients and she couldn't. But then she grabbed a Breyer's container. She go, oh, milk, vanilla, and cream. And that was all that was in there. And the ingredients were so simple she was able to read them. I remember that commercial because that was about maybe 20 years ago. It was a long time ago. And so I'm like, I wouldn't buy Breyer's ice. I didn't like Breyer's ice cream to start out with. I never did. But my husband insisted it was better ice cream than anything else. I said, I don't care. I still like the old stuff, you know, the cheap stuff. It's always, you know, when you have 5 kids, you're always trying to make everything stretch. And back in the day, Breyer's was a little bit expensive, even though they, you know, I do believe they were ice cream back then, but they're not ice cream anymore. I don't know what the heck they're putting, what additives they're adding to it. They just, I'm staying away from Breyer's. Anyway, what was I talking about? I don't even know. Anyway, so yeah, I'm always nitpicking about everything, and I just can't stand how far we have come that we let people, you know, like, not so much blindside us, but taking us as idiots. Like, they won't know. They'll buy it anyway. Which in a way they're kind of right, because a lot of people, you know, in other countries always had that idea about us. Like, oh, they're Americans. They'll buy anything. Don't worry about it. They won't know. And ever since, yeah, it's like, we're not as dumb as you think, you know? So it's like, I don't know. But anyway, so Can't wait to start on my little red truck because I was mentioning about making a little red truck. So, but it's going to be from that fabric that I had gotten. So yeah, save those, you see any kind of fabric with patterns on it, like boats or Christmas trees or cars or whatever. Save them, especially like for Halloween stuff. Anything that has to do with Easter, Valentine's Day, things like that. There's just so many things you could do with those fabrics. You could decoupage them. You can, you know, um, make them as ornaments. You can make them tiny little pillows. There's just so much you could do with them. You could use them in making what do they call it? Renovate those books, those spiral notebooks. Those I forgot what they're called. Those black books. They have that black binding on it. I forgot what it's called, but you could also. Okay, guys, so it shut off again. So I'm just going to have to go through my phone and find out, what's causing the storage to pop up. It just keeps saying that storage is full, and I'm just going to have to probably delete a lot of videos.
If you do end up deciding you have to delete all my games, can you please keep Vlogmas?
Blast?
Yeah, I really need to beat Michaela's high score.
Okay. Anyway, thank you for joining me for Vlogmas. Before this thing shuts off again, you can always like, subscribe, definitely comment. And yeah, we will see you again for Vlogmas Day 15th. And yeah, guys, we will see you in a bit. I'm trying to hang on here for at least a minute because I just want to see if it's going to shut off again or not. All right, hi everybody, here we are. Okay, so as you know, I've been doing the Vlogmas Christmas with coffee, with the Advent calendar, but I'm also doing projects that you could do from your own stash at your house, things that you have gotten throughout the year, and to make like just these little gifts that you don't really have to run out and get, but just like little gifts that you want to, like little trinkets you want to throw in a little box and give it to a friend or for a stocking stuffer, things like that. So as you know, I already had made a few items. I made tags, and I made, what else did I make? I remember. Oh, I have my box over there. And I made a lot of different little things already. The other one, it was the Christmas, the little red truck. I think that's what I started out with. And I just started going on a roll, and I said, well, let me see what else I can make, and let me see what else I have, and what can I do with this, and what can I do with that. So I did start out with this right here, and I had found this in the back. So I ended up making a little Christmas, let me go get it so I can show you, especially if you're first time here. I think I have it in the, oh no, it's over here. So this is where I have all my little, and stickers and little odds and ends. The bag was over here. Okay. But anyway, I have, I don't know, just tape and everything for wrapping paper. So I just put it in a box like this. So I was wrapping gifts the other day. So my first one was, of course, like I said, was the little red truck. And I didn't like the way it came out because of the cloudiness. And I think I had mentioned that before. And I had gotten that pattern out of, what did I do with that? Oh, I left it over there. I would leave it over there, of course. Oh no, it's not over here. Where did it go? Oh, it fell. No wonder I couldn't find it. Okay, so I was tempted to make another one, which I still might do. I don't know, but I did cut out another one. But this was the one I had. I found it in the back. I thought it was so cute. And I was like, who doesn't like the little red truck, right? But anyway, that's what I started out with, and I didn't want glitter on there. I did use the diamond glaze, and I didn't think it was good. I thought it was going to be clear, and I just can't stand that cloudiness right there. So I was like, oh, well, it is what it is. But, you know, I'll probably just make it into a tag or use that as a garland or something. But this was the first thing I made. And then I ended up making some tags. That was the second thing I made. And I made some tags with the cardstock that I had. And, you know, stamps that I stamped on there. It came out really cute. And then I just found another one. So I said, I'll just cut this one. There's no sayings on there, just Mary Wolfmas. Oh, this was because of the doggies. So I don't think I'll give that to anybody unless I give it to somebody who has a puppy or something like that. But anyway, I got this, and which I think I do know who to give it to. But, you know, so I ended up making tags. Like I said, I made 2 tags. That was the second thing I made. And then I ended up making some ornaments just by printing them out, coloring them, and using, what do you call it? A laminating machine. So I used the laminating machine and just made some ornaments. So, and then I did still have the printouts that I wanted. Here's some more of the sheets that I made. These were my own prints. I ended up printing out my own prints. So I made some ornaments. That was the next thing I made. And then I ended up using, I had found my plant, and my neck is still hurting me. So, Cersei, what are you doing? So I had mentioned that I had some shrinky dink sheets, but I had another one and I can't find it. It was like an 8x10 sheet, but I had remembered I had ordered a whole kit. So I had all these sheets to work with. It's all shrink plastic. So when I said, well, what can I do with the shrink plastic? So what I ended up doing was I found this little booklet that I was showing you guys that that my grandson had gotten from school, and it was a little activity kit, and he got it from, you know, Christmas, and he got all these little things with all these little pictures of things and stuff like that. And it was a whole bunch of pictures and stuff like that. So I saved it. And for a minute there, I couldn't find them. And I was like, well, where is it? I don't know where it's at. But anyway, it was so funny because the one that I printed out and the one that was on this little booklet were almost identical. And I was like, oh my God, they look the same. So this was the one I drew and I printed it out. And then this one was the one that came in that little kit, that little carry along activity pad. And I was like, oh my God, they look really similar. But then again, of course they would, right? It's Christmas. So I said, okay, let me see what I can do with that. And then I thought about the plastic shrink sheets. And I said, oh my God, I can use that. And I did print out some more. But one thing I did realize is that when I was printing it out, and I was watching some more videos, I learned my lesson: don't cut this out while the sheet is on there, the plastic shrink, because it'll slide. So you just have to draw it, take out the sheet, and then cut it out. So I learned my lesson. Plus I had to make another copy because this one was funny because it came out looking like a boot. Anyway, I had to make another copy. I said, I gotta make another copy just in case I lose these. So that's what I did. So I made an extra copy. Okay, so I did get the shrink wrap out and everything like that, and I did use it, and I did use I used colored pencils, the Praco, I don't know how you pronounce that, the Praco. It was kind of okay, but I did use Pasca, I think it's called. I did use Pasca, but these guys are like very like chalky, but it does dry eventually. And then of course I use my Collier, and I think I'm going to be steering away from the colored pencils. The only reason I did need the colored pencil, the black one, and that was just to make the outline. But that's the only reason why I would need a black colored pencil. Anyway, so I did make the key change. I did use, for one of them, I did use the heat tool gun, and it came out like that. And I think I did get a little bubbles in there somewhere. And then I got like one bubble in the front. I don't know if you can see it. See it? See the little bubble? And I don't know how to pop those. But I made the little keychain. It's a little warped. And I was like, oh well. But this is because I used the heat gun. I don't know. Some people prefer the heat tool. I prefer the oven. So I have a what do you call it, an electric oven in the kitchen. So I don't know who that is. So that's how that came out. And then I made the other one, which was the, my neck, which was this one. And I said, well, I already colored it, I already drew it. And I said, well, I'm going to put it in the oven and see how, it was a lot more faster too. And that one came out like this. Although it was supposed to come out looking like milk, it looks more like mud. So I have to figure out how to make it look more like milk. And like I said, it looks like a boot, doesn't it? But I said, oh, well, it's cute nevertheless. You know what it is. It's a cup of milk. It's supposed to be a cup of milk with chocolate chip cookies. But that's how it came out. So I am still going to be working with Shrieking Dinks. I think you could just do so many things with them. So of course this is and like I said, you can always put these in a little box and give it to somebody. They could put it either on their phone, or they could put it, on their purses, or, on their backpacks, wherever they want to hang it. So I thought these came out cute. So that was another project, and something I'm definitely going to work more with, because I was really having fun doing that. So, okay. So that was the project that I made for those. Now, I'm still trying to decide what I'm going to do with this guy. I think he's so cute, and I don't want to pass up the year without, doing something with him. So I had to figure what I'm going to do with that. All right, so my next project is going to be using, again, this guy right here. And I realized that I don't have a little red truck on my Christmas tree. I have a lot of other little things, but not a little red truck. So I said, okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get these two. And if I think I mentioned on this fabric, some were going one way and some of the trucks were going the opposite way, which I thought was pretty cool. Because if you ever try to, man, where does this hair keep coming from? If you ever try to mirror anything, it's kind of hard if you have the same fabric just facing one way, and you really can't mirror anything like that. You would have to put it on a cardboard or something. So, or I don't know. It would be hard to mirror. But if you have something that has a picture of anything going one way and it's going another way, grab it, because you can always make something with that. So I cut out two pieces, one going one way and the other one going the opposite way. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab both pieces and I'm going to put them together. And I am going to sew it. So I don't think I could do Yeah, I could actually. So I'm going to put the pretty sides together. Make sure they're both, yeah. So you can see how they're mirrored. See how they're mirrored? So that's perfect. So I'm going to put the pretty sides together. I'm going to grab some thread, and I'm just going to hand stitch. I'm not going to use my sewing machine, but I'll do it as tight as I can. And I'm going to go around all the edges, probably with some black thread or maybe white. It doesn't really matter because you're really not going to see it. And then, of course, I'm going to leave a little opening, probably up here. I'll leave an opening because it'll be a little bit easier for me to pull it right side out. And then when I pull it right side out, it should look like this again. And then I'm going to fill it with some, I got this stuff for Halloween, some polyfill, I think it was, oh, it's spider web stuff, but I'm going to use it nevertheless, just for now, because I have more fluff in the back, but for right now, I just need a little bit, so I'm just going to use this as polyfill. And then I'm going to fill it up. Seal it up, and use a little, what do you call it? Either hanger or twine or something. And that'll be my ornament for my Christmas tree. And I'll finally have a little red truck on my tree. Yeah, I did see some at Walmart. You know, they were plastic, of course. But I was like, you know, it didn't dawn on me to buy one, which I wanted to buy, but I don't know why I didn't buy it. And I was like, you know what? I guess I just didn't want to spend the money on it. But now that I realize, you know what? I could make my own. And so there it is. So this is going to be an ornament that's going to go on my Christmas tree. And I don't think, I could maybe sprinkle a little bit of glitter probably on the tree, maybe some iridescent glitter on here before I sew it together, and maybe on the snow. Yeah, I'm not gonna do it with the truck unless I use this one, but I don't think I want to do it on both sides. But you know what? I don't know. I think I'm just gonna sew it. I don't think I'm gonna add all that. I'm just gonna sew it, put the polyfill or whatever, that spiderweb stuff in it, sew it, and then call it a day and hang it on my tree. But I'll show you how it looks like after I'm done. But so that's going to be my next project. And even with this, because I was still looking at this, I think I'm still thinking about making the garland, because I think I still can still have more. I still have a lot of little red trucks I can cut out. But another thing I noticed that would be really cute that I'll probably be ending up using with the garland are the trees. I can cut those out and put those in between the trucks. So I'll probably end up doing that. Now this, of course, I'll be putting this, what did I use on the other one? Oh, I think I used cardstock. Oh, I used cereal box. So yeah, I think I'll do that. I'll just put it on cardstock. I could do the same thing with the little trees. Cut the little trees out, put them on the cereal box, and then just make a garland, probably up there, like just these two windows right there. This is mainly right here, so just up there. That's where I'll put it. And yes, that's going to be another project that I'm going to do. So I really want to use this all up. I really do. So we'll work on that, and I don't know if I'll try the glaze. I don't think I'm going to use the glitter, but I will try the glaze and see how the glaze, just to see how it looks. I do want to get the glossy accents, and I do want to get some resin. I forgot what that resin, the Mod Podge Dimensional glaze, I think it's called. It comes in a yellow bottle. I have to go to Walmart later on today, so I'm going to see if I can find it. But that'll probably be mostly for the key or for the plastic canvas for the shrinking things. So I'm gonna keep looking for that, but I think that's what it was. It was dimensional something. I should have wrote it down, but Mod Podge dimensional. I forgot what it was. Anyway, again, so that's going to be the next project. So this, hopefully by tomorrow, I'll have it all done and I'll show you how it looks like. So I'm going to put everything else away. And like I said, I think the keychains came out. They came out cute. And again, there's just a lot of other projects that you can do that you would have on hand at home, you know, little things that you can make. And like I say, you could start doing this starting in January, guys, if you want. And you can make little boxes, and you could put this in little boxes with like I made the little boxes with the stamp, I forgot what it was called, the Stampin' Up little box, the Stampin' Up little box. So I made, you know, a few of them, so I could put them. This one came out wonky, but you know, and you could put the little keychain, you know, in here, in there with tissue paper, and yeah, and then close it up, or you could put something else in there, but, and you know, just give it as a little gift. Everything is homemade, everything that you do. But I would start this in January. I think what you have to do, if I'm correct, you would have to, like, and you could do this also for, you know, if you want to get started for Valentine's Day, make your own little boxes, little tissue, and give your coworkers or friends a little you know, keychain with hearts or whatever. But I would start doing, I mean, because I've noticed that a lot of people have been going to all these markets and things like this, and they're, you know, they're putting up their tables, and they're wondering how come they're not selling anything, and I think it's because everybody's making the same thing. You have like these amigurumi things. I forgot what they're called. And then the person two booths down is selling the same thing. There's nothing different. It's all the same. And people are doing, which I think the cozy bowl warmers will always be a hit. I mean, you can never go wrong with those guys, because those are awesome. They're useful, very useful, especially for if you have a hot bowl, or for, I wouldn't use it for popcorn because of the butter and you would have to wash them, but definitely for soups, any hot bowl, any hot item. Those are I use them all the time, especially when I have a hot, you know, a bowl of soup and I don't want to burn my hands. Those are always usually a big seller. You had to have at least a large and a small one. I do the set. I do a large and a small. Yeah. Oh, the package that I had delivered, that I had sent to my sister-in-law, she moved. I don't know if you guys were wondering about that. I did pack everything up. I was showing you guys, and it was supposed to be for Thanksgiving, but she moved, so the package came back to me. So I told her I'm just gonna resend it to her after the holidays. But yeah, and I sent her a set as well. I also gave a set to my son's girlfriend, so she was really happy. Like I said, those things are useful. You want to make something that's useful. Okay, so I'm just trying to, so you guys could see a little bit of Christmassy things in here. Anyway, so I think you would have to start making something that nobody else has, or somebody else that nobody else is thinking about doing. It has to be innovative. It has to be different. All you're doing is just selling the same thing. The person down a few booths down are selling the same thing. And then I guess you would have to worry about traffic, right? I mean, you have to be somewhere where you know people are going to come and look. And a lot of people really don't buy. They're just there to see what ideas they can get. So they're not really there to buy. They just want to get ideas. I guess that's how come they banned a lot of people were like, oh, can I take a picture? And they don't want people taking pictures of their stuff because they know they're going to turn it around and make something similar to it or something better than what you made, and they'll make the profit and not you. So it's kind of tricky, but yeah, you have to be really innovative. You have to, for me, start making things now for Christmas. Start making things now for next year for Valentine's Day. Start making things now for things that are going to be coming around and what do you call it? No, actually, I think it's the opposite way. You could start Valentine's now, but after Valentine's Day, you have to start thinking about Mother's Day, Easter, you know, things like that. Or but anyway, start making things now for that season to come. Don't wait till the last minute to do it, if that makes sense. I'm trying to let you guys know you got to start now for next year. In other words, like if you start, you know, building up certain kind of gifts for Christmas, start doing it now and knock it out so that when next Christmas comes along, you already have it ready. You already have it packaged and things like that. I don't know. That's how I see it. You just have to start now for the next season to come. But again, you have to be very innovative. Got to be different. Don't make the same things that other people are selling because they want to see something new. They want to see something different. And even though I'm just getting tired of people, you know, seeing them make those little awful little makeup bags. I mean, anybody can make those. Like, come on, you know, and you're selling them for, I don't know, like $25, $35. Really, $35 for a makeup? They're just, and then I don't know, and then they're selling I don't know what other stuff that doesn't even look like worth buying, like something you could just slap together yourself. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a critic. I don't know, but it really has to be something different. I've never been to a marketplace. I mean, I've gone to them for sure, and I have bought, you know, some things from some booths, but even the I think it was one of these actually. But this, I bought this at one of those marketplace because it was just so beautiful. I even bought this one. I bought this one because I've never seen these before, and it was different. The beading was different. They had the roundels, which I thought were, you know, really, really cute. This one I stretched out because I used it. I used it a lot. But yeah, when I saw these, I was like, these are pretty. And I think I bought 3 of them. I think there's another one missing. But yeah, and this one, these guys I bought when I went to a farmer's market or in Indiana because they had an outside event. And that's where I saw these. And I said, oh, I'm grabbing these. I don't know if I'm going to see these in the city. So that's why I grabbed these. And the roundels, I really don't see them anymore. But what I do see are the big ones. I think I have one, as a matter of fact, are, you know, those big bracelets. I don't know if I have one in here. I have a lot of Christmas stuff in here, but it was one of those big bracelets that had, oh, what was it? It was one of those big bracelets that would tell your whole story in it. I forgot who made it, but no, I don't think I have it in here. I mean, it almost looked like something chunky like this. This was cute. This one I bought it at Walmart, and it broke on me, and I was so upset because but I'm scared because I feel like it's gonna break. So I had to be very, I don't think I can wear this anymore, but I'm going to try to redo it. But anyway, I think you get what I'm saying. You know what I mean? So be more innovative, be more, you know, think about what isn't out there. What is it that is useful? What is it that people want to see that's different? You know what I mean? And think along those concepts. Okay, guys, I think I've been on here long enough. So, okay, so that's another project that is done. And then I am going to work on the truck. And then I have 2 more projects that I want to do. And those are, aside from the garland, they're little wooden houses that, because I want to put more stuff on my tier tray because I feel like it's missing some stuff and I don't want to buy anything anymore. So I'm thinking about either making a big Christmas tree with little presents or a Christmas house. So I don't know yet. So I'm still thinking. Okay, guys, we'll see you in a bit.